Yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast coming at you with the Week 2 recap of the Midtown Brigade Fantasy Football League matchup. So let's get it without further ado. Rapid fire time. And let me tell you something. Your boy really got struck down. Came back to reality this week. Of course, we always start with my game. Team Garbage Man, that's my team. And I went against my nemesis, Team Brigade, who we've known each other for 30 years, a 30-year rival, over 30-year rivalry in every single kind of sports. And right now, man, he took me out. He took me out thanks to the last-minute accolades of Kyler Murray, who just completely brought back the Cardinals against the Las Vegas Raiders after being down 20-0. Broke my heart. I lost by a little bit over 10 points. And of course, Jalen Waddle had 41 freaking points, 11 receptions, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Part of that crazy Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill video game output they had this weekend. I mean, I started hot, man. On Thursday night, I had 3 players going. Mike Williams with 26.3 points. Everett, who I picked up in the waiver wire, 13.1. That's money when you had that from a tight end. All right, and then also that same night, I had what was it I had that night going? I think that's it. I had those 2 guys going on Thursday, and I started like a house of fire. I did. I started like a house of fire, plus Edwards Hilaire. I'm sorry. Plus Edwards Hilaire. And I had like 55 points right off the bat. I was projected to win this. That's why projections don't mean shit. Because you could be projected having the lead, and then all of a sudden, Russell Wilson pops his ugly head and has a really ugly game. Jamar Chase, 10.8 points. Devontae Adams, 9.2. My studs didn't show up. I only lost by 10. No excuses. Got my ass whooped by Team Brigade. Thank you. Courtesy of Waddle and Kyler Murray. Moving on to the next matchup. Galama on Wednesdays against Vicious. Man, Vicious has started off with a bang. He's 2-0. And started hot with Justin Herbert. All right, Justin Herbert. And this game came down on Monday night. Hurst against Aaron Jones. And even though Vic still had a nice lead going in there, but let's say Aaron Jones would have had a typical game. This game would have been a lot closer. Maybe Galama would have pulled that lead. But Vicious is starting out hot, man. Herbert on fire. He may lose him for a week or so because of that rib injury. Adam Jones is going to have huge more moments coming forward. And of course, Cooper Kupp, the MVP, was his main target. And the Bills. When you get 24 points from the Bills defense, that's pretty insane. For Galama, who by the way I'm facing this week, had a nice comeback game from Allen Robinson. Mark Andrews, his boy, that's his boy, man, you know. And then Jalen Hurts, of course, is playing out of this world, a.k.a. the new Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts style right now, man. And, you know, McCaffrey had a decent showing with 102 yards rushing, but it just wasn't enough. Usually this would beat about, Galama would have been about, a good 50% of the league with 148 points, but it didn't happen. So this week, I'm facing Galama. Let's get busy. South Florida Spanish Ninja. No mercy against Maximus. And look, Maximus had hope going into Monday night, but Cousins let him down. All right, Saquon let him down. Huge game from the Sun God, Amon St. Brown, and Rashard Bateman, who is one of the biggest surprises this year. Everybody knows this kid has skills. But then after that, man, it was all downhill from there. South Florida Spanish Ninja, well-balanced attack. Christian Kirk and the Trevor Lawrence stack. Huge benefactor, and of course, he swept the leg, took him out, Johnny Lawrence style, with Stephon Diggs. Huge 46.8 points. I mean, came down on Monday night. It was a close game, but it wasn't enough because Cousins didn't show up, and Dalvin Cook didn't show up, but Trayvon Diggs showed up 4 or 5 times for the both of them. Congrats, Ninjas. Solid game. Ninjas is 2-0. Maximus is 1-1. All right, moving on to Team Cruz and waiver wire studs. Yes, I get to say the name studs this week because he went from a dud to a complete stud. 146 points after scoring the lowest output of the year, probably of the year last week. It was his baby brother's Team Cruz's birthday, but he had no mercy. He took him down. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had a nice comeback, but the story of the game was Tyreek Hill, 47 points. Gesicki, 14 points. He had a nice stock with the Dolphins. Buccaneers defense with 29 points. But wait, there's more. Tua Tagovailoa on the bench with 61 points. All right, almost 62. I believe that this is going to be the biggest bench point performance of the year for a non-starter. You know he's going to be starting too of moving on. But it was a complete annihilation, 146-8. Team Cruz, look, Burrow, he's so disappointed in Burrow. He has outperformed his projection. He has underperformed his projection the last couple weeks. Mixon didn't show up. It was pretty much a dud performance. Nice ray of sunshine for him is that Higgins came back from that concussion protocol and had a nice game. You know, he had the points that Jamar Chase did not have for me. But again, studs can call themselves studs again. He went from dud to stud. Congrats, waiver wire. 1-1, and Team Cruz, the runner-up last year, is 0-2. Team Broadway and Just Gritty, man. Look, Team Broadway started out okay, but it was all Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson almost had the second best quarterback performance. He was part of that huge game against Tua and the Miami Dolphins. Almost 60 points. That was the story of the game. All right, Lamar Jackson, that was the story of the game. He won by 17 points, more or less, 19 points. It's all Lamar Jackson. It was all Lamar. Sutton had a great game. 7 receptions, 122. Did not catch a touchdown because that is product of Mr. Russell Wilson struggling. Zach Ertz, nice surprise. When you get 10 plus points from your tight end, not named Kelsey, Waller, or Mark Andrews, it's always a bonus. And he did have it today. For Team Broadway, he went back to reality. Last week's leading scorer went ahead and completely shit the bed. Patrick Mahomes had a decent performance, but Jonathan Taylor, man, got shut down by the Jacksonville defense. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is owned by the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, all right? He has proven that he cannot run against that team. Everything else, no surprise here. Pittman was hurt. Regardless of the fact, it would have been enough, I think. Just Gritty pulled one out thanks to his boy, New Era Lamar Jackson. And finally, New York City Rico against New Era, the two-owner team, baby. And same result as last week. I'm sorry, different outcome as last week. I apologize. They pulled off the win, 138-85. Rico's hung strong, but Josh Allen brought it home on Monday night. It was a close game. And it was a nice game. If Josh Allen didn't have that type of performance, it would have been probably Rico's way, who's 0-2. Again, for Rico, Tom Brady didn't show up, and Mark Henry hasn't shown up for 2 consecutive weeks. Drake London, great addition, but it wasn't enough. The story of the game was Josh fucking Allen. 42 points. I mean, this week we had some quarterbacks go off, man. Jalen Hurst. All right, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, of course, Tua Tagovailoa, even Herbert. There was a lot of quarterbacks, man, and they were the difference of the game this week in most of these matchups. There you have it, folks. Week 2 is in the books, and let's take a quick look at the Week 3 matchups. Real quick here. New Era against Greedy. Good matchup. Right now, New Era and Greedy are both 1-1, and they want to stay that way. One of them wants to stay over 500. Maximus is looking to rebound against Rico, who's probably looking for his first win. Spanish Ninjas, 2-0 right now. He's hot right now, playing against Team Broadway, who wants to rebound, and Rico wants to stay undefeated, man. Team Brigade, who's 2-0 against waiver wire studs. Brother against brother. Big brother against middle brother. Who's going to win this matchup? I don't know. I probably put my money on Brigade because he beat me. Vicious and Team Cruz. Team Cruz is desperately trying to get in the win column. But Vicious really has a good team. I mean, it's going to be tough. I think Vicious is going to pull this off. There you go, boys and girls. Midtown Brigade Week 2 recap matchup in the books, baby. Let's go. Let's get this up Week 3. I'm coming for you, Galama.